Like anything else, this is not a silver bullet. It will not work for everyone, but it does work really well for the people who find a fit between who they are and what a franchise business offers. So, jumping right into it, look at the pro side of the house. Have any of you ever heard of the phrase business in a box? Anyone? Business in a box. No? Yes? See a couple nodding heads. Yeah. A franchise is also referred, Cindy says yes. A franchise is referred to as a business in a box for a very simple reason. It's a proven, familiar model. Picture, if you will, guys, somebody, your franchisor, hands you a shoebox, okay? And the franchisor hands the shoebox to Milrie and says, here you go. You have now become our franchisee. And contained in this box is everything you need to get up and going. All the systems, all the processes, anything and everything you need to start your business. It's a business in a box. It's a turnkey system, okay? That is the intent of a franchise. Otherwise, you could just go off and start a business from scratch, as many people do. There's nothing wrong in that. It's just a very different way of approaching it. Very importantly, guys, the number one reason my clients choose a franchise versus going off and starting a business from scratch is because of the support systems that a franchise gives. What industry you've gotten into, they will help you with a wide variety of different things. They might help you with business development. They will help you with sales. They might help you with hiring employees. They will help you with creating a... As a result of the support systems, franchise models offer you... Getting an unstable connection. Sorry, guys.
All right.
A sec. Okay.
We're still here with you.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you. As a result of the support system, guys, you're going to have a much quicker startup. Question, pop quiz for folks on the call. Do you guys know on average, how many years does it take a startup business, not a franchise, a business started from scratch? How many years does it take on average to get to profitability? Any thoughts? How many years?
5.
Marie says 4. Zainab says 5 maybe. Gaddafi says 6. You guys are all in the ballpark. The numbers that we get SBA, R. Scott says 10. Good Lord, Mr. Scott. We would be dead if it took us 10 years. But you make a very good point, sir. And that is, or lady, I say sir, on average, a business started from scratch takes between 5 to 7 years to get to profitability. So the question, my friend, that I have for you all, how many of us have the financial luxury of waiting for 10 years before a business starts bringing us an income? I certainly didn't, right? So with a franchise business model, you have a much quicker startup. That's one of the key differences. Initial and ongoing training. Guys, this is a really, really big one. When you begin with a robust franchise brand, when you become a franchisee, not only do you get training when you first begin, you're going to go to the corporate headquarters, they'll take you to whatever they take you through to get the training so that you are well prepared to begin the business. But for the life of your agreement with that franchise, you are going to be given training, whether it's in the form of twice a year conferences that you attend with fellow franchisees, whether it's ongoing educational training in the form of webinars, Zoom calls, what have you. There's always some component that keeps you up to speed. You kind of know your industry trends, you know what's hot, what's not. You essentially have a state of the union, if you will, with the particular franchise that you've gotten in with. Initial and ongoing training, very important. You know, in the franchising world, and actually Ray Kroc of McDonald's fame, who is said to have coined this phrase, and that is, in a franchise, you are in business for yourself. Absolutely. But you are never in business by yourself. Because you, again, I will keep saying this, guys, if you have gotten in with a robust franchise, not all franchises are created equal, my friends. So you have to be careful. You've gotten in with a robust franchise, you will have a system of other franchisees who over time become trusted colleagues, friends even, who help you when you hit some hurdle in that first year, as you inevitably will, because all of us have. That support system that you get with the franchises can be incredible. And then last but not least, guys, the franchising industry is regulated by the Federal Trade Commission, the FTC, okay, down the road from where I am in DC. And what does that mean for you if you're looking to buy into a franchise? It means the FTC has put in place additional balances that help protect you, the potential franchisee. And all of these, guys, without going into details, all of these came about because in the earlier years of franchising, there were a lot of bad actors doing a lot of bad stuff. And we needed an oversight body to be able to come in and say, nope, can't do that, right? So there are checks and balances in the system that protects you. Very quickly, I said a franchise isn't a silver bullet. There are some cons. To every client, you want to walk into this with your eyes wide open. You want to be aware of what are the positives, what are the negatives. First one, I have clients who from time to time will say, or people who attend this workshop who will say, all of this sounds really good, Faizun, but I don't want to follow a playbook. You're telling me a franchise is going to tell me how to do what I need to do. They will have an ops manual. I don't want to follow that. I'm done. I want to do my own thing. I had a boss for X years. I don't want to do that. Okay. Answer is very simple. A franchise is probably not going to be your cup of tea. You must follow the playbook in order to be successful, guys. Be very clear. If that is not you right now, a franchise is not the option for you. I have had people who have bought into franchises, decided they knew better, put the playbook aside, create this adversarial relationship with their franchisor. Guess what happened? They walked away losing that investment. Don't be that person. Understand now if you have what it takes, right? Let's not make that expensive mistake. Okay, annual sales goal. Not all my brands, guys, but some of my brands will have annual sales goals that you as the franchisee will need to hit every single year. Some people feel it's an imposition. I don't want that hanging over my head. Okay, that's an easy fix. I will then give you brands to explore that don't have that sales goal requirement. We talked about franchise fees and royalties. And very importantly, guys, the franchise fees and royalties that you will be paying to your brand, it is in exchange for the quicker startup that we talked about. All of the training, all of the ongoing support that you are going to be getting is to be able to get you to break even and get you to profitability as quickly as possible. Even after that, there are some people who say, Faizun, if I make $100, I want to keep my $100. I don't want to have to give $10 back to my brand. If you feel really strongly about that, again, a franchise is not for you. Okay, that's another one. Some of you may have heard of protected territories. This is where a brand will say, Faizun, your territory is going to be the Washington, D.C. region. What does that mean? It means I can only market in that particular territory, in that particular area. I can't market in Maryland. I can't market in Virginia. Okay? Protected territories. Some people feel that they get restricted by that. They want to be able to do what they need to do everywhere. That's an easy fix because not all brands have protected territories. Others will say, you come on in, you can work in the entire contiguous United States. It's not a problem, right? Neither is a bad approach, guys. It just depends on the business model of the brand that you're looking at. The next one's very important. Understand when you get in with a brand, guys, you are entering into a binding legal contract. with every client that works with us, when they get to that particular part of the process with us, we will introduce you to a franchise attorney. Before you sign anything, before you move forward with any brand, you will sit down with a franchise attorney. I'm not one, but I work with some of the best in the country. I will make an introduction for you. And when you sit down with the attorney, the intent is for you to get a very clear-eyed sense of what are your rights, roles, and responsibilities as a franchisee vis-a-vis your franchisor. Very important, okay? So we will do that, but you are entering into a binding contract. And then guys, but not least, many times franchisors' problems, if it's a bad problem, well, I guess there's never really a good problem, maybe, but your franchisor's problems become your problems. What do I mean? Do you guys remember this? This probably happened 5 or maybe 6 summers ago. Suddenly we found out that the foot-long sandwich at Subway was actually not a foot long. It was like 10 and a half, 11 and a half inches, and people lost their minds, right? Now, I'm making light of it, but the point is this: false advertising, right? False marketing. You are telling your customers, you are selling them a foot long, in fact, it is not. Now, here's what happened. Local Subway franchisees around the country bore the brunt of it. Their customers were unhappy. Many of them lost businesses. But was it their fault? Were they the ones baking the bread? No. The baked bread would come directly from corporate. But in this instance, the franchisor's problems became their problems. That's a potential disadvantage, right? So keep these things in mind.